ask you to consider that the pace of your transition out of the dark state has its own intelligence, and that when the moment comes to take these steps, you will be ready and you will do them. That if you've withdrawn into a cave, that maybe there's a deep wisdom operating there, that you've gone through a process. And the very fact that you're listening to this right now means that that process is at a transition point. So it's not about what can you do to get out of this. It's about recognizing that this time of darkness is reaching its end. And you can feel grateful for that. And you can feel the ring of truth in my words, that this isn't something that is up to you to do. It's an initiation that's happened to you. It's a process that has taken you through itself. And a change is coming. And you can trust. It's not that it just happens without your participation. It's that you come into a new willingness to participate. You come into a readiness and a responsiveness. And this isn't something either that you have to make yourself do. Instead, I would ask you to give a little bit of attention right now to the feeling of readiness that is growing in you, and to offer it some trust and say, thank you, readiness, because you are going to push me with a feeling of excitement and rightness at the moment when the time to take these small steps comes. And I will recognize that moment. And I will trust my feeling of readiness, my desire to participate in this life. That perhaps I've withdrawn into darkness as a necessity to transition out of a wrong life. And I thank my soul for guiding me to do this. So this is a kind of an invitation into self-trust that, again, is not something that you have to accomplish. I hope this isn't too complicated. It's something that you can feel. It's already there. A deep knowing, a deep trust through all the darkness. Like there's some little speck of knowledge that I'm not a fuck-up, that I am whole, that I am wise, that who am I? I am life. I am life, taking the form that life takes in the circumstances that I was put into. I am just as much life as that tree over there, or the tree that is growing up all twisted and gnarled because it was in rocky soil and in shadow and against a cliff or whatever. And it knew what to do. It knew how to grow in that rocky soil. And maybe I was in rocky soil too. And I am life. I know how to grow just as much as any other living being. And so I guess just what I'm asking right now is to touch that knowledge and accept that that's all you need to do. Touch that knowledge and it begins to work you, even if you don't believe it, even if you think that you won't take those steps. There's that knowledge that you will, that you are one.
You're 20 to 30 years old. You should follow a good boss, join a good company to learn how to do things properly. When you're 30 to 40 years old, if you want to do something yourself, just do it. You still can't afford to lose, to fail. But when you're 40 to 50 years old, my suggestion is that you should do things that you are good at. Right? And not do things that, oh, that's very interesting, I want to try something new. It's a bit dangerous more. When you're 50 to 60 years old, spending time training and developing young people, the next generation. When you're over 60 years old, better stay with your grandchildren. So 30 years old, we people next to 30 years are the luckiest period. We have a lot of challenges, a lot of things are happening, and with our knowledge, with our physical power, it's time. I was born in a very poor family. I never got a great education. I failed all the examinations. For what reason? I don't know. Later, I realized I don't have money, I don't have technology, The only thing I competed with my people, the young people, is let's compete for 10 years later. This is what I believe 10 years later will happen. So everything I do for that goal, I know 10 years later, this thing is going to happen. So prepare for that. Because I know if I compete with him for next month, no chance. It's a challenge, but it's an opportunity. And it's the opportunity for people like us. The most difficult thing is to convincing a successful people. When you tell him this is a great opportunity, he says, no, forget it, right? I've been doing this for 30 years. But for people like us, we're looking for opportunities in order to survive. If you want to be successful tomorrow, it's impossible. If you want to be successful a year later, it's impossible. But if you want to win 10 years later, you have to.
What if you decided to go all in for the rest of this year? What if you decided to stop playing at level 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever level you might be at? But what if you decided to play at level 10? What if you decided to stop doubting yourself? What if you decided to wake up and you decided that this year is your year and that nothing will hold you back? What if you decided to get rid of all of the fears, or to let your fears exist and just say screw it and stop paying attention to them and get so focused on what you want in your life and what you want for this year and what you want for your family or for your business or your career, whatever it is? What if you decided to go all in for the rest of this year? What would your life look like on December 31st? What would your family's life look like? What would your bank account look like? What would your career look like? What would your business look like? Think about that for a second. If you're in an industry and if you look at the person who's the absolute best, if you say that person is at a level 10, what level would you rate yourself at? 4, a 5, a 6? What is it? As far as what you're playing, what level are you playing at when you wake up every single day? If 10 is your true potential, what level are you playing with every single day? And be honest with yourself in that answer. If it's a 4 or a 5 or a 6 or whatever it might be, what would your life look like if you decided to stop doubting yourself? If you decided that your fears were no longer going to hold you back, if you decided to go all in 100% for the rest of this year, how amazing would your life look? Because here's the deal. The only limits that exist in this world are the limits that we put on ourselves. The perfect example I love to give, I give it all the time, is this. If I asked you, what is the chance of you making $1 million in cash legally this year? And then I had you answer it. What would you say? What's the odds? What's the percentage chance? And be honest with yourself, of you making $1 million legally this year. Is it 1% chance, 2%? A lot of people say 0% chance, 5% chance. What's the percentage chance? Now let me ask you a different question. What's the percentage chance of you making $1 million this year if your entire family's life depends on it? If your entire family gets killed if you don't make $1 million legally this year, what's the chance of you making $1 million legally? It's 100%, right? You will find a way to do it. Now what changed? Did the goal change? No. Did the time frame change? No. What changed is your drive, your motivation, your why behind that goal. And that's it. So you went from a 0% chance for most people to a 100% chance within 30 seconds. If that doesn't show you the limits that we all put on ourselves every single day, I don't know what will show you the limits that we put on ourselves every single day. You are capable, I am capable, we are capable of so much more than we allow ourselves to actually put out into the world that it's ridiculous. So I'm going to have you ask yourself the question again. What would your life look like if you went all out this year and you played at level 10 and you put 100% of what you need to into it, if you didn't hit the snooze button anymore, if you woke up at the time that you want to wake up, and from the time that your feet hit the floor until the time that your bed had your head in it again, you went all out 100% for the rest of the year, how amazing would your life look? And why aren't you doing it? Why are you limiting yourself? You get one chance, from all that we know, one chance to live. Why are you not living to your full potential? If you need to, listen to this every single morning when you wake up as you're brushing your teeth and you're trying not to allow yourself to go back to bed and hit the snooze button. Remind yourself, listen to this. Or say in your head, am I playing at level 10? Am I demanding greatness for myself? How amazing would your life be if you went all out and you decided to play at level 10? And what is holding you back from getting there? That's what you need to figure out, and that's what you need to come to terms with. It's not that you have to make $1 million this year. That's just an arbitrary number I threw out. But it shows you how much we're limiting ourselves on a day-to-day basis. So ask yourself that question. What would happen if you went all out this year? Why can't this year be your year? And if you did go all out, what would your life look like? How amazing, how much different would your life look like December 31st at the end of this year?